Surajji, am I audible? Hi, good morning.
Yeah, good morning. We'll start.
Okay.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Very warm welcome to all of you for this Liv360 Healthy Living and Healthy Weight Management program. Do you remember the date, October 10th? I don't know how many of you remember the date exactly. Yes, that is the date where we started actually our journey. And today is the 97th day. What an interesting journey, right? We had lots of learning. We had some very fun exercise and everything. It was overall it was a very interesting journey. We all know that. And I don't know how many of you are actually ready to start this journey for your customers and friends and relatives, like that, because now hardly 2 more days are left for this particular program to conclude now. We must be feeling very bad about it. However, we need to go on. Today, actually, being 97th day, it's a very interesting topic that we have now. Okay. And you will learn, I can assure you one thing that you will learn a lot of things because the speaker is such that he has got vast knowledge and he's an expert in giving this knowledge, sharing this knowledge in a very simplest format, actually. We'll wait for that. Let me introduce the speaker first. And the speaker, when I talk about him, you know him, and you cannot forget him once you hear him. He's from actually Odisha, Anshuman Mohanty. He is a distinguished scientist from Nutrilite, renowned for his depth knowledge and strong scientific background in the nutrition and pharmaceutical industry. Anshuman, a pharmaceutical postgraduate, pursuing his PhD now, and he excels in crafting high quality products that cater to the customers. Anshuman has spearheaded the entire development process of nutrition supplements from the concept to the market. I will have to go on, continue talking about him if I add, but I need to add a couple of things more actually. With his extensive experience and expertise gained from working in prestigious organizations worldwide, Anshuman stands as actually a testament to the scientist from Nutrilite with a proven track recording of introducing top-notch innovations. We are lucky to have Anshuman today here. And Anshuman is actually going to talk about circulatory health. We know very well that now the importance of circulatory health, because we have seen it many times when we meet the customers also. Most of our products actually, it comes to the circulatory part, and he's going to share his knowledge, and also he will give us some tips and the latest things, latest findings in this industry also. So without much of ado, actually let me introduce Anshuman Mohanty to this virtual platform. Thank you so much, sir. Over to you.
Thank you, Surajji, and thanks for having me for today's session. So today's session is one of the very important session, and very important topic, considering the journey throughout you have taken, and the core of that journey is circulatory system and heart, right? So without further delay, let me share my screen. Yeah, is my screen visible?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay. So thank you. And so as I mentioned, still now, whatever we have learned, I mean, it's a great journey, great journey. I mean, There are hardly any platform you will be finding such a depth of knowledge, and which will basically, these knowledge are practical, and you can you can include this knowledge, you can include this learning in your life for well-being, right? As I mentioned, circulatory system is the core of our, I mean, if I am living due to my circulatory system, I can tell, right? My heart is running, my heart is beating, that's why I'm living. Having said so, I would like to give you one example. uh, Say for example, your house is situated somewhere, and there is a way, I mean, access road to your house or our house, right? Somehow the road to our house get destroyed. There is a big hole everywhere around our house, and you cannot go anywhere, right? So what will happen? Imagine the situation. You cannot get your food, right? You cannot go to market, you cannot purchase anything, vegetables, anything. You cannot get your food. If somebody comes to supply water, so water line is broken, so water is not coming, right? Your house waste that is generated, that cannot be disposed. Imagine a situation, you are disconnected from world for a period of 1 year. What will happen? Survival would be difficult, right? Exactly. So our home is equivalent to our heart, and the roads are equivalent to the circulatory system. Everything is transported through the circulatory system, through the pipes. Those pipes, those vessels, those are road, and our home is our heart. It is pumping everything, everywhere, every day, from starting before birth to the death, right? So let's start today's session. Yes. So circulatory system, you can see in this screen, it's a framework, whatever we have we have demonstrated here. It is also known as cardiovascular system. When I say cardiovascular, cardio is heart, vascular is for vessels, blood vessels. So both are joined together to coin the term cardiovascular system. So it is made up of blood vessels and heart. So this is the actual diagram of heart, right? Where you can see some blue part, where you can see some red part, right? Heart has four chambers. This is one chamber, this is another chamber, this is another chamber, and this is another chamber. So, and here are the blood vessels. So here we have represented heart and the blood vessels in the body in a diagrammatic manner. Not exactly in this way it is present in the body, but in a diagrammatic manner to make us all understand, right? So here I will just give you one definition. The vessel taking blood away from the heart is called artery, and the vessel taking blood to the heart is called vein. Simple definition. The vessel which is taking blood away from the heart, you can see this blue pipe, it is taking blood to lungs. This is called artery. This red pipe is coming again back to the heart, it is called vein. This is a simple definition. Now, why this red color? Why this blue color? See, you can see in this diagram, here heart is pumping your blood to lungs. Why lungs? Lungs in the center, like heart, lungs also, through, it performs throughout the life. It, it removes the carbon dioxide. There is a gas exchange procedure happens in the lungs. So it removes the carbon dioxide and takes in the oxygen. So when the oxygen is added to the blood, that is represented by red color. Now here the carbon dioxide gone away from the blood and the oxygen comes, the blood comes into heart again. So you will ask why it is coming into heart, why this oxygenated blood is not going to liver, stomach, intestine. Yes, they have to go, but from lungs, how can they go? They have to go to again heart, and heart has to pump it. It has to give some pressure so that in this pipe the blood can go to this part. These are very distant part, right? So it's like a motor. It is giving pressure and the blood is going from here to liver, to stomach, to intestine, other organ, brains, everywhere it is going, right? In this organ, what is happening? The oxygen is coming with this blood. Those oxygen are consumed by either liver, stomach, every organ. Then they remove carbon dioxide from their cell. Liver is made up of many cells, right? So this oxygen is utilized by the cell. The carbon dioxide produced in the cell, they just dump into this blood. Again, this blood carries this again into heart. They cannot directly go to lungs because pumping is required. A higher pressure is required. They go to heart. Again, heart pumps. It go to lungs. So if it is confusing, don't bother. Just understand the blood vessels are circulated everywhere in the body. Heart is pumping the blood and it is going to organ. Again, it is coming from the organ, again to heart to lungs, right? So this is overall circulatory system. Why I try to make you understand so much? Because this is the medium. You can see this is the medium. If you go to, I'll give you another example. If you go to, old Indian civilization or old world civilization, Harappa and Mesopotamian civilization, anywhere, the civilization has been built in the side of river. Why the civilization was built with the side of river? Because river was the key. At the time, they did not have any motorcycle, they did not have any trucks, train, aeroplane, they did not have anything. So how they used to transport? They used to transport through river, everything, right? Likewise, here in the blood, oxygen, what we eat, like from stomach, I have eaten something. The food goes to the absorption of nutrients happens and it goes to blood. Stomach, intestine, right? Liver processes and it again maybe from glycogen to glucose is formed. Again, it goes to blood. From somewhere, some hormone is released. Again, it goes to blood. Oxygen is going through blood. Carbon dioxide is going through blood. So it is a transport system of our body and it is the main part of our body which is keeping us alive, right? Let's so lastly, cardiovascular. From this slide, what we learned, cardiovascular system is our lifeline. It is the most important thing of our body. As I mentioned, circulatory system, what is the function? I mentioned about oxygen. It is transporting oxygen. I mentioned about nutrients. So when we are eating something from the stomach, from the intestine, the absorption of nutrient happens and goes to the blood. And as the blood circulates throughout the body, the nutrients are also circulated throughout the body to each cell. Removal of waste product, right? Waste product are produced from every part of our body, every cell of our body. The good thing like nutrient, oxygen, these are utilized by the cell. When these are utilized, the byproduct is produced. Those byproducts, carbon dioxide and other waste products, those again dumped to the blood. That goes to this carbon dioxide removal happens in lungs. Other waste removal happen in kidney. So those waste removal happens. So circulatory system is important for that. Hormone transportation, as I mentioned. Suppose some hormone is produced somewhere in some gland. Pituitary gland, one hormone is produced. It needs to go to the leg. How it will go? Through the circulatory system. Immune system support. We have WBC, you have heard of RBC, WBC. Those cells, those cells are having immunocells out of phagocytes, right? Those get transported to different part of the body where it is necessary through the circulatory system, through the blood pressure regulation. Yes, this is very important part. We will be talking about this more in further slides. So blood pressure regulation is also done by heart, by the blood vessel, by the width, the diameter of the blood vessel. Temperature regulation, this is very important. Our whole body's temperature is maintained. It's not that my upper body temperature is 37, my lower body temperature is 39. It's not like that. Everywhere my temperature is constant. If the temperature increases or decreases, there is a problem in our system. So all through the body, the temperature is maintained. Blood clotting, when there is a cut, the blood clotting happens. Behind blood clotting, a huge cascade mechanism happens, right? Some gives some blood, some cell gives signal, some cell comes, some cell form the network fibrin. So many things happen. This circulatory system helps them. pH maintenance, our blood has a specific pH that is maintained by the circulatory system all through the blood. Electrolyte and fluid balance, right? The fluid contained electrolyte, maybe sodium, potassium, these are balanced. These are very key important phenomena. You might have heard, if patient is admitted in ICU, like the doctor keeps on checking their potassium sodium content in the blood, keeps on changing, right? Keeps on checking. So this electrolyte balance happens. Prevention of infection, as I mentioned, the immunity, inflammation, facilitated gas exchange that happens. Gas exchange means carbon dioxide, oxygen exchange that happens in lungs, tissue repair and growth, right? Whenever there is a tissue repair and growth, there is a signal happening, and that signal is transported to by our circulatory system. And long distance communication. What is meant by long distance communication? From brain to leg, there has to be given a signal. How the signal is given? Circulatory system is a part of that process, right? So what we learned from this slide, the function of circulatory system overall in our body, right? Benefit of a healthy heart. So we learned about circulatory system, we learned about function of circulatory system. We know that heart is the center of circulatory system. If your heart is good, if your heart is healthy, you have good blood pressure, healthy blood pressure, right? Reduced healthy blood pressure, reduced risk of heart problem. There won't be much heart problem. Mental health would be good, right? Which results, I mean, if you are having good heart with these good conditions, health concern would be less. The longevity, the life duration will be long. Reduced stress on the heart and the arteries. If the heart is good, if your arteries are good, then the stress on them is good. Improve cholesterol level, right? Improve weight. So weight control is also is contributed by good circulatory system. So it leads to overall well-being. This is one of the important slide where we'd like to highlight. One second. Okay, so I like to highlight about circulatory health. So here you can see in the blue part, you have some factors. In the green part, you have some factors. So these blue part sectors, there are certain factors. Those are non-modifiable factors. If your circulatory health, if your heart health depends upon certain factors which can be modified, which is in your hand, that if you try, you can modify that factor and make your heart and circulatory system good. There are certain factors you cannot modify. It is not in your hand. So like those, the non-modifiable factors are age. So when a person ages, the heart and every organ weakens. So that you cannot control. Yes, you can change your lifestyle, you can try to remain more fit, but you can overall completely control the age, gender. There are problem in heart condition, male, female. That gender is very important. You cannot change your gender. Genetic factor. Some is coming from our heredity, like grandfather had a heart problem, father had heart problem. So you have to be more cautious. Regular checkup need to be done. Other than that, you cannot change your gene, right? Race and ethnicity. Somebody is from Africa, somebody is from USA, somebody is from Asia, like India. So their complete weather condition, ethnicity, race is different. Based on that, their body construction is also somehow different. So these things you cannot change. But what you can change? High blood pressure. If you are having high blood pressure, you can take some action like diet, healthy exercise, right? Those kind of things you can do. Smoking can be reduced. You have to leave the smoking. Diabetes, there have been many presentation around diabetes, right? You know more about diabetes, so you can control it to have a good circulatory system. Stress, you can manage your stress. We have several sessions on stress. You have to manage stress. You can manage stress. Physical inactivity, if a person is sitting or sedentary lifestyle a person is having, he has to change it. You have to be more physically active. Obesity, you have to control your weight to have a healthy circulatory system. And lastly, high blood cholesterol. If your cholesterol is very high, you need to be very cautious about it. Though cholesterol is somehow good for health, but oxidized cholesterol is very dangerous. It sticks everywhere, right? So high cholesterol is also a problematic area. So these green factors which you can modify, this is in your hand. So this is a further explanation of modifiable factor. What is in your hand? These are all diets. These are all foods. Junk food, pizza, burger, chocolates. These are all junk foods that you can eat. Normally people are eating, that can be changed. These are lifestyle, sedentary lifestyle, obesity, right? Smoking, drinking. These are the factors, and these are the food factors which, what happens if we continue on doing these things, we continue on following this lifestyle, if you continue on taking this junk foods, what will happen? There will be increase in hypertension. Your hypertension means blood pressure will be increased. Atherosclerosis would be increased. What is atherosclerosis? Narrowing of your blood vessel. Blockage happens. Athero means hardening of artery. Your artery becomes hard. What that does, if hypertension is increased, atherosclerosis is increased, peripheral artery disease, all the peripheral arteries, that those will be starting to damage, right? Peripheral artery disease, coronary artery disease. What is meant by coronary artery disease? Coronary means heart itself. So heart is also organ. It also need blood flow, everything to function. So heart muscle also damages. The coronary artery, heart artery also gets certain disease, and it leads to stroke. The stroke chances would be increased. So let's understand a little bit more about the circulatory system and how it is functioning around the blood pressure. So you have known high blood pressure, how a blood pressure which is measured by a sphygmomanometer, an instrument that doctors used and nowadays we are having in our home, how the blood pressure is increased, right? So for example, I'll give you a simple example. You have everybody is nowadays having bathroom. If you don't have bathroom, imagine a situation, right? You have a motor, water is coming through a pipe, right? Now you attach a thick pipe, a pipe having higher diameter. The water coming through that pipe would be on less force. When the water is coming through a thick pipe, the coming out force of water is very less. In the same place, if you use a very thin pipe within small diameter, the water will come in high force. That is dependent on the diameter. If the diameter is quite good, the blood flows in a good blood pressure, whatever needed, the blood pressure heart. This is the good blood flow. It's flowing in a smooth manner. The heart is compressing and the blood is flowing through a good artery. right? The artery is flexible. What happened? Due to high cholesterol, the deposition of cholesterol start happening inside the artery. Here is smaller deposition, and again the deposition increases. Maybe you can call it at 15-20%. This is 50%. This is 90% deposition. So where is the way? So there is no way. There is no way here. There is very less way for the blood to travel from here to here. You can see you have cut the blood vessel here. Inside there are two sides. There are plaque building happening. The way the path is reduced for the blood flow here, completely reduced. What will happen? The blood cannot come here, and this part get damaged without oxygen, food, and everything, right? So with high cholesterol, what we learned from this slide, with high cholesterol, the internal wall, internal diameter gets reduced. There is a very less path for blood flow and blood pressure. So heart has to push harder so that the blood can go to the other side. See, here heart has to push, say for example, in a certain force. Here heart has to push little bit more. Here the force would be higher on the heart because the road is constricted. This all cannot come. So heart has to push bit more higher pressure so that the blood can come out this higher pressure given by heart is called high blood pressure, right? So blood pressure increases due to constriction in the artery. This is we learned. So what will happen if the blood does not go? A part of the heart muscle get damaged because that does not get oxygen, food, necessary requirement. If it gets damaged, it gives a heart attack, right? So this is overall story. We learned the constriction of blood vessel leads to high blood pressure, and if the cholesterol deposition increases and the blood vessel is completely blocked, a certain part of the heart that gets damaged, that is called heart attack. How diabetes affects your circulatory health? I have told you, I have mentioned about you about the diabetes, how it is affecting. So when there is a diabetic condition in the body, the blood, the sugar which is present in the blood is always on the higher side. More than 120, 120, 130 sugar is always present in the body, in the blood, right? So what that does, the damage to the blood vessel walls, it starts damaging the blood vessel wall. That leads to the fatty material sticks up to the wall. The walls become sticky, right? So it's the fat, the cholesterol that starts sticking to the internal part of the blood vessel. Over the time, what happens when the sticking is, as I mentioned in the previous slide, you can see the sticking is more here. The sticking is increasing. The path available for blood flow is reducing. So gradually it reduced and the constriction starts happening. In this way, diabetes damages different blood vessels, different cells of the body. So diabetes has a big role in damaging your overall circulatory system, increasing heart disease. So this is overall what we learned from this slide. Impact of obesity. How obesity have negative effect on the heart. So I'll slowly describe this, slide. You'll completely understand. So this is what your visceral fat. Visceral fat, I mean the fat that is deposited in the body, belly part, upper part, lower part of the belly, everywhere. So this is the visceral fat, right? When the fat is deposited, what it will do? It will increase the insulin resistance. What is insulin resistance? You might have understood. Say, for example, I am just taking a very arbitrary number 10. 10 microgram of insulin is required to convert your blood higher, the excess amount of sugar present in your blood to glycogen, glucose to glycogen. Now, when there is a fatty condition in the body, the insulin resistance increases. Now 10 microgram will not work. You have to take 20. You need 20 or 30 or 40. The insulin resistance increases. I mean, for the same activity, higher amount of insulin is required, and that gradually leads to diabetes. In this way, visceral obesity has insulin resistance, increase insulin resistance, and it increases pro-inflammatory adipokines. Pro-inflammatory adipokines means these, just understand, visceral fat increase insulin resistant and increase certain factors like TNF alpha, IL-6, leptin, resistin. These are all factors which increases when there is an inflammation in the body. So visceral fat helps to increase inflammation, increase insulin resistance. On the other way, if it increases insulin resistance, it reduces insulin sensitization. Like I mentioned, 10 milligram, 10 microgram is sufficient. That is called sensitiveness of the insulin. So that is reduced. That's why resistance is increased. So insulin sensitivity reduced. Anti-inflammatory markers, here inflammatory adipokines increases. These help to, pro-inflammatory means help for inflammation. Anti-inflammatory means opposite of inflammation, reduce inflammation. So here the factors that helps inflammation that increases, here the factor that reduce inflammation that decrease. So you can understand the the factor which helps to reduce, that is decreasing. The factor which helps reduce, increasing the inflammation, that is increasing. What ultimately happening? Inflammation, insulin resistance, leptin resistance, everything is increasing due to visceral fat. That leads to overall organ, negative impact of overall organs like liver, every organs. The visceral fat is having negative effect. Lipid, your lipid content in the blood, that alters glucose metabolism, alters vascular function, alters, that lead to type 2 diabetes, hypertension, and cardiovascular disease. So you understood how visceral fat, how obesity contributing ultimately to diabetes, hypertension, and cardiovascular disease, right? This is the where we understood how diabetes, cardiovascular disease, everything is developed from visceral fat. Another factor, very important factor, is stress, right? How stress is affecting? Let me tell you, if there is a high level of stress, there is a part in your brain that is activated, hypothalamus pituitary adeno axis activation. That happens, sympathetic nervous system activation happens. You know what that lead to certain hormone secretion, increase in certain hormone secretion like cortisol. This kind of hormone secretion increases. What that again leads? Insulin resistance increases, glucose intolerance increases, right? Dyslipidemia, the lipid balance disturbs in our blood. Visceral adiposity, the fat tissue increases in the body due to overall stress. Stress is getting directly linked to insulin resistance, glucose intolerance, right? Dyslipidemia, visceral adiposity, and hypertension, increase of blood pressure. What again, it leads to adverse cardiovascular response like increased heart rate, right? Endothelial function is decreased, oxidative stress is increased, coagulopathy is increased. I mean, clotting of blood happens. So stress gradually leads to this. If you see this pathway also, stress leads to activation certain part of the brain. What that happens? That leads to systemic inflammation. If your blood cortisol level is continuously increased, is continuously remaining increased due to continuous stress, what will happen? there will be a systemic inflammation. Again, that also lead to insulin resistance. These are all factors, and that leads to adverse cardiovascular responses, right? So here you understood how stress is affecting your heart directly, indirectly, your inflammation directly, indirectly, diabetes, insulin resistance, everything it is affecting. And that leads to cardiovascular disease and other related disorder. So from this slide, what we learned, how stress is affecting overall cardiovascular system, how our heart, blood vessels are getting affected due to stress. So this is one of the very interesting slide, and there was a study that has been done by American Heart Association. In this study, what they studied, it was Life's Essential. It was a program called Life's Essential 8. I'll talk more about that program in the coming slide, but let's understand first how your sleep pattern leads to heart disease. We have talked, if you don't have a sound sleep, your every part of your body would be affected, starting from stress and all inflammation, but it directly also affects, I mean, it directly or indirectly affects your heart disease. So here you can see a green graph, right? Here you can see a orange graph. In the green graph, you can see a person is sleeping at around 10, 9 or 10, and he's getting up around maybe 6 or 7, and that process is uniform, right? These persons are having regular sleep. But here you can see certain persons, somebody is sleeping at 12, Sunday sleeping at 12, maybe Monday they're sleeping at 8, Tuesday sleeping at maybe 10. So the sleeping pattern is disturbed, right? There is no a fixed timing for sleeping. So in this study, what happens? There are two groups of people are enrolled. One group, when measured, they found that they are having a uniform sleep pattern. Another group was having a disturbed sleep pattern or erratic sleep pattern. From this, they studied this two groups of person for around 5 years follow. What they found? Let me come to this graph. Here, sleep duration has been mentioned here. How many hours of sleep? And here, how accordingly the heart coronary vascular disease is increasing. I mean, how it is responding. So here you can see if a person is sleeping for 8 hours, if in the 8 hour, 1 hour is his disturbed sleep, among 8 hour or 7 hour, whatever amount he is sleeping, among this, if 1 hour is disturbed sleep, sorry, 60 minutes, 2 hours is disturbed sleep, then he is at 1, scoring is at 1. And it increases if somebody is having 1 hour and somebody is having 2 hour, 120 minutes of disturbed sleep, his coronary vascular disease scoring increases. Similarly, onset of sleep timing, if somebody is sleeping, going to sleep in 30 minutes, he is having sleep, and somebody needs 90 minutes to have sleep. The person who is sleeping early, or it takes very less amount of time to go into sleep, his coronary vascular disease hazard ratio is less. A person is requiring more time to go into sleep, he is at the risk of coronary vascular disease. So from this, what we understood, if sleep time is disturbed, among the total sleep time is there are certain disturbed timing, 60 minutes or 1 hour or 2 hours, something like that. The more disturbance happens during the sleep, the higher is the heart disease. Similarly, the more time it takes a person to fall asleep, he is at the higher risk of heart disease. This is overall we found that irregular sleep patterns leads to cardiovascular disease. So this is what I was mentioning. American Heart Institute has created a Life's Essential 8 program. Though, so this last, what we have discussed in this slide, this experiment or this study was part of this program. So what they are mentioning, it's Life's Essential 8. It starts with enjoy, limit, and avoid. What it means? Enjoy your life, limit junk food or avoid junk food, move more, exercise more. You want 50 minutes of moderate or aerobic activity, 75 minutes of vigorous activity, aerobic activity. So you have to do more exercise. Understand your blood sugar and keep on tracking them. Fasting blood sugar should be 100 milligram per deciliter. So understand your blood sugar and keep on tracking them. Keep track of your calorie, what you are eating. Just monitor what you are eating, how much calorie you are eating throughout the day. Learn your BMI. So we have many sessions around these kind of things: how to track your calorie, how to learn your BMI, how to track your blood sugar, what is a healthy blood sugar. All of the sessions we have done. Understand cholesterol, what is the cholesterol level of your body, how cholesterol is affected, and track the level. Understand and track your blood pressure. Okay. Set, choose, decide, prepare, and quit. What does it mean? Smoking. If you are smoking, understand how smoking disturbs your body's internal equilibrium, how smoking has negative effect on your body. Start planning and quit in a systematic manner, right? Benefits of sleep. As we mentioned, sleep has very high benefit of, it has, sound sleep is very, very important for overall recovery of your body. It's like your body goes into a reset mode, right? So these are all 8 factors that you have to keep on monitoring. Some factors you have to leave, some factors you have to include, like exercise you have to include, good food you have to include, you have to enjoy your life, stress you have to include, smoking you have to remove. You have to monitor these things: cholesterol, blood pressure, calorie, blood sugar. You have to have a sound sleep. These are all overall Life's Essential 8, which is recommended by American Heart Association for a good circulatory system and a healthy body. With this, I would like to mention the activity of the day. Share with your habits towards healthy Life's Essential 8. As you have learned about Life's Essential 8, what are your healthy habits you have included in yourself? So that's all from my side. Thank you. Back to host.
Thank you so much, Anshuman. It was a wonderful session. It was, something very, very important actually. So you made it so simple as always, especially the kind of examples that you have actually shared. Gave a lot of insights because it was easy to understand. Since Minal has not joined, I would like to request you to share some more insights on because see, this is many of these participants are actually connected to weight loss, and they have earned success also in this journey. Some of them actually reduced 10 kg, some of them even reduced 12 kg, some of them hardly 6 7 kg, but overall health is actually improved a lot. So can you please share some more insights on that particular part? The
Yes, yes.
circulatory system connected to obesity, because that that you explained it so well, that visceral fat thing. But because this is going to be very, very important for all of us actually.
Yes, yes, definitely.
Thank you so
So
much.
I think Minal has joined, but since I'll touch base again it. This visceral fat, this visceral fat. We keep on eating junk foods, everything we keep on eating, your visceral fats get increased. So that has been represented by this yellow cells. What it does, it increases insulin resistant, increases pro-inflammatory marker. So when a insulin resistance starts happening in your body, it's the long duration before the onset of diabetes. When you see a diabetes, when you check your sugar level is increased, you are not able to control your sugar level by your insulin. Long before that, maybe 4 year, 5 year before that, the insulin resistance had started increasing, right? So we don't know what is happening in our body. We don't know when we are starting to, develop diabetes. You have to track well before that, and before that you have to have a healthy lifestyle, right? So insulin resistance starts increasing, inflammation increases, insulin sensitivity reduces, anti-inflammation, I mean, inflammation is increasing means anti-inflammation is decreasing, right? So those good things are decreasing, the bad things are increasing, which overall leads to internal inflammation. When I say inflammation, what is exactly inflammation? Inflammation means the negative effect that is falling on cell wall, that is falling on cell membrane, organelle membrane, body organ functions. Everywhere there is a negative impact that is increasing. Insulin resistance is increasing, leptin resistance is increasing, everything is increasing, and that overall leads to overall organ damage. Dyslipidemia means disbalance of different level of lipid. You have, high density lipoprotein, you have low density lipoprotein, you have very low density lipoprotein. So high density lipoprotein is known as HDL, LDL, VLDL. Those have a particular balance, healthy balance. Need to have a healthy balance. That balance disturbs. That is called dyslipidemia. Altered glucose metabolism. Altered glucose metabolism means what? Say, for example, at 110, beyond 110, if more sugar comes into the more carbohydrate, simple sugar comes into the blood, it has to convert to glycogen and stored somewhere in the body. Now, what happens? That method is altered because your insulin sensitivity is increased. So, even the glucose goes to 150, 200, that is also not converting to glycogen. So glucose metabolism is overall altered. And we discussed about how glucose, if it is increased glucose content in the blood, your vascular wall, the inside wall of your blood vessel get damaged. It becomes sticky. So these three things overall lead to type 2 diabetes due to glucose metabolism, hypertension because the artery wall or vein wall that gets damaged, so it becomes sticky. There are less path for the blood flow, so blood pressure increases, and that overall leads to cardiovascular disease. When blood pressure increases, the path required to flow the blood is decreased. The part of the body is damaged. Here, I would like to take one more minute. Uh, what is stroke? What is heart attack? Somebody tells there was a blockade in the heart. Some doctors find out there is a blockade in the heart. They used to use stent. So here I would like to mention that you can see this heart. Heart itself has blood vessel. Heart is not an organ that do not need blood. It needs blood because it needs oxygen, everything, nutrients. Now these are the blood which feed to heart muscle to keep on continuously running, right? And say, for example, these blood vessel get blocked, some part of the heart does not get the oxygen or the food, and that part starts damaging. So there is a 90% block, there is a 80% block, there is a 99% block, there is a 100% block. If the block is 100%, nothing is reaching to that part of the heart, stroke, heart failure. So this is what happens. What doctors do, they go inside, they remove the plaque, or they put one stent. What is that? It just widen the blood vessel, and it opens the blockade part, and blood flows start again. This is what happening. But before going to stent, I would recommend, and we are blessed to have such a good session, such a good programs, and such exercise regimen. We should start thinking about our healthy lifestyle. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Awesome. Very interesting. Thank you so much, sir. It was a wonderful session. Lots of learning, and you made it in a very, very simpler format, for all of us to understand. And, we know the importance of the circulatory system now. We cannot just like that leave it. And, thank you so much once again. Now, Minal has joined. So let's invite Minalji for a wonderful exercise session. Minalji, we had a wonderful session by Anshuman sir on circulatory system and how the blood circulatory system affects the obesity. Okay, now it is your turn, ma'am. Okay, let's burn some fat now. Okay, thank you so much. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
You'll also have to allow my screen sharing.
Yeah. So somehow I'm not able to stop sharing. You can change the yeah.
Well, it's a very well depicted screen. I don't know. It's a very well done. I think it's very well explained, easy for everyone to understand.
Sure. Sure. Thank you.
Anshuman, actually, I think we may
Okay.
not be
Oh,
able
what
to.
I'll do, I'll leave the meeting and
Yeah,
join again. In the
that's the
meantime,
best thing.
Minal can continue.
That's the best thing.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Sometimes technology, take us for a ride.
Thank you, Suresh. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, let's get started. We're going to start with a nice warm up. And post warm up, we'll have the workout. We're going to start with doing sides and shoulders today. So, for the sides, we have these two basic movements. One is you can do standing, another one is you can come down to the mat and do it. So, both ways, you will have sides and your leg movement together. So, the idea is either you can hold on to something at a high level and then do it, or you can be on the mat, squeeze and start lifting from your sides. What we exactly want is your one side forward, other side with the hand. So this is the movement. So we want you to tuck the core in, lengthen through the legs up. Now the same movement can be done standing also. You can hold on to some chair, bench, any kind of a prop, squeeze and lift while you're standing. So like this, 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 this. Okay. One thing which is there is while you are standing, you only lift your one leg. Okay. But when you are on the mat, you are actually working through both your legs. Yeah. So that ways, if you can come down to the mat and start lifting with your both the legs up. So even if it is half an inch, make sure you're lifting up with both the legs and squeezing. Up and squeezing. Core tight and your obliques also engaged. So your hand will be forward, elbows in line, squeeze and lift. So something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We'll do 25. Core tight, squeeze up. Keep your spine and a body aligned. So not going back and forth, but just tucking in and up. So 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 5, 4, 3, 2, go. Yes. So these sides, exactly this burn. I know a lot of people also feel it here. That's great because you're also squeezing your legs. So you are squeezing it the right way when you lift yourself up. Yeah. Let's shift to the other side. Again, your hand will be forward so that you have space to move back and forth. Navel tucked in, squeeze both the legs up and down. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Squeeze up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 3, 2, go. Oh my God. Can you feel it all along your sides? Exactly that. Let's do the next set. For the people who are not able to lift both the legs, it's absolutely okay you start lifting with one. Yeah? It's just that your body is not accustomed with the movement of lifting your legs and tapping your core. So you start doing it with one of your legs, gives you a hand for that as well. Means you are here, this, just this, just this. Then it will become very similar to the move which we were trying to do while we were standing. So this will exactly be that movement there. Squeeze, core, and here. 1, 2, 3, like that. Okay? So if you're not able to do it with both the legs, it's absolutely okay. Go ahead, do with single leg. But those who can do it with both the legs, continue with that. Yeah? I know by the end, actually 25 number of reps, make sure that it's coming to your core. Even 10, 15 reps doesn't make you feel that, right? It's only the last 10 reps which kills you. Yeah, here we go. Core tight and squeeze up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Rise up. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 15. So let's do set like 25, 15, and 10. Otherwise, inside, it's only the warm up. Workout is still not started. Let's do 15 this side. Squeeze, core tight, and here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Let's rise up. Okay. For the shoulders, we don't need very heavy weights. So your water bottles are perfect, or maybe 3 or 4 kg. We generally don't have dumbbells of 4 kg. So 3 kg would be good. First movement is just lifting up. Okay. Now this movement you can also use some place to sit and do it, or you can do it otherwise also. Quite a warm up it was, right? Squeeze and lift. That's exactly what you have to do. Hold your dumbbells here. Squeeze and lift. Squeeze and lift. Squeeze and lift. So this is gonna be just the forward lift. Okay. After this, we'll have both. So after this, I want you to do it side and up. Side and up. But let's start with the first one. Only the forward lifts. Core tight. We'll have 3 kg dumbbell max. Now, squeeze up. Lengthen through the spine without moving your body back and forth. Okay? You'll not be lifting and moving. Squeeze your feet hip width apart. Core tight. Dumbbells forward. Okay, so something like 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 3 and 3. My hands are in line with my shoulders. 4, 5, 5. Not above this. 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12, 13, 13, 14, 14, 15, 15. Okay? We've done one set here. First set. Let me show you the second set pattern. Okay? The second set is with a single. Only with the single arm you have to do it both ways. Hold on to something at at your arm level, like this. It could be a wall or a desk or any surface like that. You're gonna get your front feet forward. Now the movement is side and up, side and up. So what is happening right now? We are only doing the front lifts. In this movement, we are doing both front and lateral. I know we're doing shoulders and sides today. So a lot of times you don't feel very interested in the upper body. But remember, your upper body is actually a frame in which everything else is there. Okay. So if you have this falling, which is happening, you see a lot of people drooping over this, their laptops and screens and sitting like this all day around. All your digestive organs to your, respiratory system is falling over, crowding out. So make sure these shoulders are nicely rolled back and your entire skeletal structure here is strong. Okay? So squeeze, core tight. We're going to start lifting to the sides and up. Yeah, looks very simple. Killer move. 2 and 2. 3 and 3. 4 and 4. 5 and 5. Keep going. 6 and 6. 7. 7. 8. 8. 9. 9. I am skilling. 10. Last 2. 3 sets. 10. 11. I mean last 3 reps. 11. 12. 12. Very good. To the other side. Squeeze and lift. Okay. This time your left leg will come forward. You'll have the same movement. Side and up. 2 and up. 3 and up. 4 and up. 5 and up. 6 and up. 7 and up. 8. I know, killing. And up. 9 and up. 10 and up. 11 and up. 12 and up. Very good. Take a breather. So we've done one set of both the exercises. Let's start with the second set. And after second set, we'll introduce the third exercise. So here again, it's simple. You have simple front raises. Okay. In none of the raises, your hands will go over your rotors or shoulder blades. It will stay here all the time. You're not locking up your elbows. Your elbows stays nice and soft as you keep lifting up and moving. Here we go. Front raises. Second set. Squeeze and lift. 1 and 1. 2 and 2. 3 and 3. 4 and 4. 5. 5. 6. 6. 7. 7. 8. 8. 9. 9. 10. 10. 11. 11. 12. 12. Very nice. Take a breather. Let's again start with the lifts to the side. Single hand. Right leg forward. Squeeze and start lifting to the side. Here we go. 1 and 1. 2 and 2. 3. 3. 4. 4. 5. 5. 6. 6. 7. 7. 8. 8. 9. 9. Oh my God. 10. 10. 11. 11, 12, 12. Here we go. To the other side. Second set completed. We're going to start with the third set. Hold tight, squeeze and lift. Side and up. 2, 2, 3 and 3. 4 and 4. 5 and 5. 6 and 6. 7, 7. 8, 8. 9, 9. 10, 10. 11, 11. 12, 12. Very nice. Okay, one last set. Keep sipping water. I will be doing quick, fast movement. Squeeze up. Lengthen that spine. Third movement is very simple. We've done sides. So what we'll have to do is hold tight. We're going to just go to one of the sides and bring it here. So you're going to go one of the sides and bring it here. If this looks okay and you are comfortable doing this move, so you're going to go to the side and lift. Side and lift. Side and lift. Looks more like a warm-up move too. So what we'll do is, towards the end, we'll do that simple twisting. It will, I think that will be a better move for the hands and the shoulders, both the sides. The idea is just to go side and lift. Side and lift. Side and lift. I think it's more of a stretch. Okay, let's finish off with our third movement. Third set of both the exercises. Front lifts and then front to the side. Squeeze up, hold tight, and let's go. So 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 3 and 3, 4 and 4, 5 and 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10. You are not dropping your dumbbells here. Okay? The moment you drop, the tension is gone. It is 10 and 10, 11 and 11, 12 and 12. Okay? So a continuous movement and a continuous tension. Okay, give a nice hug to yourself. Take a breather. Squeeze. One last set we do it. And then we come down to the mat for doing the sides movement. Squeeze. Both the ways. Yes. And yes. Let's do one movement. Just one set for twisting before we come down to the mat. Okay, that will also act as a good stretch. Single, single. Front and lateral raise. So, these muscle group, we don't use them in isolation as such. So that's why even 5 and 6 reps of, lateral and front raises gets this so worked up. It's okay, we're not increasing the number of reps. 12 is a very bare minimum reps which we are doing. So here we go. Squeeze, hold tight. So 1 and 1, 2 and 2, 3 and 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12. To the other side. Left forward, squeeze, side and up. So 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. So this is also not hanging down. 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7. Killer. 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12. Very nice. So what we're going to do is, so we're going to do sides, okay? We can do it with a stick or we can also do it on the mat. I'll teach you both the ways. So it could be anything like a broomstick. I have a barbell here. So both the sides, you're gonna just stretch. Core tight. Your feet slightly wider than the hips. Gain that stretch. So side and side. So see, this is a barbell, so it has some weight to it. So I'm holding it a little closer to me so that it doesn't slip by. But yes, with the ropes, you can move both the sides. So this is one of the moves. Okay, with the stick or a move, you can move both sides. Okay. Or if you don't have a barbell or if you don't have a stick, we can do that side twisting, which we generally do as a part. Okay, how do we do that? Both the sides, twist and tap. Okay. Now anybody who feels that it's a problem for them to do it because of the cervical spine, keep looking up straight and twist only to the level which doesn't irritate your cervical spine. So we are here squeezing both the sides. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. So you got it? When I'm stretching and squeezing, I'm going full one side in one line. Okay? 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 1, 1, 2, and 2. Okay, let's come down to the mat. Let's add some hip dips here for the sides. Okay, so when you dip your hip to the side, you are also squeezing all the muscle group as your shoulders and elbows are on the mat. Okay, now when your hips are dipping side to side, feel that stretch all the way. Yeah, so it's not just about the core, it's about your obliques also, and it's about a full twist. The kind of a twist we just did is the muscle group you also keep attention to right now. Just see, hip dips, both the sides. Your hands, right, shoulders aligned, elbows, shoulders, toes tucked in. Okay, you're gonna lift and dip hips side to side. Yeah, we'll do. Let's keep the number same. 12 of this. Do not squeeze your hands and go like this. Keep your hands nice and soft, both the sides. Bring in the power, not from your upper body, but from your core and supported by the obliques. Let's go. Squeeze and up. So here you go. 1 and 1. 2 and 2. 3 and 3. 4 and 4. 5 and 5. 6 and 6. 7, 7. 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, and 12. Take a breather on the mat, forehead down. Okay? You remember our leg raises? How about if we do the leg raises both the sides with our legs up, with weights or without weights? Okay, let's start without weights first and then we'll add on the weights. Okay, so you are here squeezing your core, lengthening your spine, both the legs side to side. So this goes to the side and up without keeping it down. Stretch and up. So this is one. You're gonna go 2 and 2. You're gonna go 3 and 3, 4 and 4, 5 and 5, 6 and 6, 7 and 7, 8 and 8, 9 and 9, 10 and 10, 11, 11, 12, 12. Okay, so I know we're killing your core and the obliques here. Let's do another set of hip dips. So in the second set, you'll get a better feel of what our hip dip is. And it's absolutely okay if when you're dipping to the sides, your hips are touching the mat. It shows that there is a full twist which is happening. So don't think that, oh, this is going wrong. It's all good as long as you're not, leaving yourself there, like still holding on to it. Let's do the second set, both the side, squeeze and squeeze. So remember when you are on the toes, okay, your movement can never go wrong. It's only when you keep pushing back through ankle that you get a lot of pressure here because your core is not engaged. Now, if your core is engaged and you are lengthening your spine and squeezing side to side on the toes, nothing can go wrong with your movement. So to the sides until you go 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, 5, 6, 6, 7, 7, 8, 8, 9, 9, 10, 10, 11, 11, 12, 12. Let's do the sides. I'll also share some music. Last set for both the movements, yeah? We are doing, okay, this is second set. After this, last set for both the movements. Go tight, I'll just share the music. Both the legs side to side, stretch up. Without leaving them on the mat and without moving them. Go. Both sides. Thank you so much, everyone. Just rub your palms over to your eyes. I'll see you all for the meditation then. Take care. Have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Minal. It was wonderful. Thanks a lot. It was overall, it was a great day. Thank you so much. See you all tomorrow.